Thank you very much, Albo, and thanks to everyone for being here. Well, I think some 7 weeks ago, South Australians voted, and they voted for change. South Australians decided they didn't want more of the same. They wanted a better future, and they elected Peter Malinauskas and the Labor team for a better future, a vote for change. The same choice awaits South Australians and Australians in this election. Do you want more of the same excuses, more of the same, it's not my job, more of the same from Mr Morrison, or do you want a better future? Do you want a better future that is about more secure work, about strengthening Medicare, about accessible childcare, about putting the dignity back into aged care? These are the choices that we face. And what I would say to South Australians is what they will have in Anthony Albanese is what South Australia always needs. We always need a partner in Canberra. We always need a Prime Minister who's prepared to work with us, not one who wants to divide the states and territories, not one who wants to divide communities, but a Prime Minister, a leader who brings people together and works with us. And that's what they will have if they elect Anthony Albanese. And to do that, they have to do something that hasn't happened for, 7 decades, and that is to elect a Labor candidate in the seat of Boothby with Louise Miller-Frost. Now, I'd like to throw now to the wonderful Premier Peter Malinauskas.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you so much, Penny, for your warm introduction. Of course, I've been good friends with Penny for a long time now, and it gives me great pride to be introduced by her, particularly given the fact that she puts South Australia front and centre on the national stage in such an intelligent and thoughtful way. To Albo, thank you. This is exactly what South Australians have been calling out for. They want to see a state government working with the Commonwealth to deliver on their number one concern, their number one priority, a health system that delivers and works for people. Now, here at the Flinders Medical Centre, what we see is an ageing piece of infrastructure. There are parts of this building that are almost 50 years old that have passed their use-by date. And over the course of the last 4 years, under the former state Liberal government, we saw a piecemeal approach when it comes to investment at Flinders, when what really is required is a generational type of investment, the sort of investment that is going to see wholesale upgrades to the infrastructure here, which means the state government ideally would like to have a partner in the Commonwealth, and I am so excited about the prospect of having a federal Labor Albanese government that wants to work with my state government to get Flinders back on track. Now, this $400 million investment doesn't just mean a refurbishment, it means additional capacity. In and around the southern suburbs, we see an ageing population, but also a rapidly growing population. So the additional capacity is absolutely essential. And of course, what this means is an additional 160 beds in the southern suburbs, 24 at the Repat Hospital, but then 136 right here at the Flinders Medical Centre. Albo already covered off what that actually means in terms of improved service delivery, everything from mental health, new operating theatres. What we also see is the opportunity to see a new eye surgery clinic as well. This is what this hospital desperately needs, and now we have the potential to be able to do that. But in order to be able to realise this ambition, fulfil the dream for many people working here, is to get Louise Miller-Frost elected in the seat of Boothby. And Louise has been working so exceptionally hard. I can tell you, Albo, there isn't a day that goes by where Louise isn't out there on the front line, door knocking, putting a call out for volunteers working with her, and they are struggling to keep up the pace because she's setting an incredible one. And that's because Boothby wants fresh representation. I think the Liberal Party in South Australia for too long, and certainly the federal coalition, has taken this seat for granted. It has neglected the principal concerns that residents in this community want. And the number one thing on the minds of constituents in the southern suburbs, including in Boothby, is having a health system that works. By having a state Labor government partnering with a federal Labor government, we're going to deliver far more outcomes, which is a better result for everyone concerned. So I want to thank the federal Labor team for making this announcement today. It's a significant one, but this is all about actually listening to people and then delivering on their principal concerns, and nothing is more important, particularly in this post-pandemic era, to ensure that we have a health system delivering for people.